Our lesson today is on rationalizing the denominator. We only have 3 examples, so it should go pretty quickly. Example 1, in order to rationalize the denominator, that means just in order to call this a simplified fraction, there can't be a denominator with a radical symbol. So to get rid of that, we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator by radical 6. So what we're doing here is we're squaring the square root of 6, which in turn gets rid of the radical symbol. Square root of 6 times square root of 6 is just 6. Square root of 2 times square root of 6 is square root of 12. We then have to simplify, so square root of 12, if you think about that in terms of perfect square factors, it has a perfect square factor of 4 with 3 left over, giving us 2 radical 3 as the simplified form of radical 12. So 2 radical 3 over 6 can be simplified one time further because of the common factor between 2 and 6. So now we have just radical 3 over 3. Example 2, similarly, we multiply numerator and denominator by radical 5. So we wind up with 4 radical 15 over 5. Now, keep in mind you cannot simplify something that's under a radical with something that's not under a radical. And so this is actually already simplified. There are no perfect square factors of 15. And then finally, number 3, actually we could do some simplifying before we begin. Square root of 9 is 3. And 24 has perfect square factors, a perfect square factor of 4. So I could rewrite this since the square root of 4 is 2. And we can kind of think about our 10 is still there. So this is going to be 20 radical 6. And the only part that makes this not simplified is the radical 6. So that's what we're going to multiply our numerator and denominator by, giving us 3 radical 6 over 20 times 6. Again, before we go ahead and multiply these two, let's take a look and see. Simplifying before we multiply is actually going to be a little bit easier than multiplying and then looking for a common factor. 3 and 6 have a common factor of 3, so that dividing each by 3, we get just the square root of 6 over 20 times 2, which is 40. So those are our 3 examples of simplifying square roots. You'll have similar types of questions on your assignment.